Welcome to your personalized deep dive. This time we're getting into practical budgeting. Um, how to make it actually work, not just like the theory. You sent over some really useful stuff, including this article called Three Best Tips for Crafting Your Personal Budget.
Oh, nice. And that tells me you're ready to kind of take control of your money. That's a smart move.
It really is. It's like this article is our guide for a financial journey, right?
Mm.
And speaking of guides, it mentions starting with a financial snapshot.
I like that, a snapshot. It's easy to feel lost when it comes to money.
Yeah.
It's about gathering all those documents, pay stubs, those bank statements, maybe even those credit card bills hiding at the bottom of your bag.
Yeah,
It can feel overwhelming, like unpacking actually been on a trip, right?
definitely. It's like facing your financial realities. And honestly, it's easy to fall into the out of sight, out of mind trap when it comes to spending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's research to prove it. There was this study from the Journal of Consumer Research anyway. It basically found that people don't even realize how much they spend if they're not keeping track.
Yeah.
So this snapshot brings those expenses into the light.
Wow, I see how important that is. It's like holding of a mirror. And then once you have that picture, the article gets into fixed and variable costs. Could you explain that?
Sure. So fixed costs are those non-negotiables,
Yeah.
like rent or mortgage payments. They tend to stay pretty much the same each month.
Right.
Variable costs, though, those are more unpredictable. Groceries, eating out, fun stuff. They change based on your choices.
Okay, so fixed costs are like the foundation of your budget, right?
Yeah.
And the variable ones are where you can be more flexible.
Exactly. And that's the key to all this.
Because it's way easier to cut down on takeout than it is to magically make your rent cheaper.
Right. Understanding this helps you make smart choices. Maybe you'll see that small expenses add up, or maybe those fixed costs will make you think about finding a cheaper place. Who knows?
It's about making choices that, match what we care about. And that makes me think of the next thing in the article, setting smart savings goals. They really emphasize that.
And there's a good reason for that.
Hmm.
It's not just a trendy phrase.
Mhm.
It's a really effective way to set yourself up for success.
Okay.
I read this study, I think it was in the Dominican University of California, that basically said people who wrote down their goals were more likely to achieve them,
Interesting.
especially if they shared them with someone. Smart goals kind of take that idea and make it, more structured.
So it's not just writing them down, it's how you do it. What does SMART even stand for?
So each letter, it stands for something: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Oh.
Like, let's say you want to take that pottery class, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, I'll save for pottery, a SMART goal would be like, I'll save $50 every week for 6 weeks so I can do that $300 pottery class.
Oh, I see. So it's way more focused, like a plan, not just a wish.
Yeah. And that R, relevant, that's a big
Yeah.
one. If your goal really means something to you, you'll be way more motivated to actually, do
But
it.
it's like why you're doing it.
Exactly. Like, maybe that pottery class isn't just a class, it's a way to relax or even start selling your stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's tapping into something deeper. I get that. But even with a good plan, sticking to a budget can be hard. The article mentions reviewing it regularly, which
Right.
makes sense, but honestly, sometimes that just feels like another chore.
It's true. Being consistent is key, but you got to find what works for you and like what you can actually manage. Some people like to check in every week,
Yeah.
others once a month. It all depends.
Some people would be overwhelmed with doing it every week.
Exactly. Find what works. If you're a visual person, there are some cool budgeting apps with like charts and graphs. If you prefer pen and paper, try a bullet journal. Just experiment and don't be afraid to switch things up. Just make it a habit,
Yeah.
not something you dread.
Right. A system that helps you, not stresses you out. And I do like that the article mentions celebrating your wins too. It's not all about cutting back. It's also about, enjoying it.
Exactly. Celebrate those victories. Did you pack lunch all week instead of eating out? That's awesome. Did you not buy that thing you didn't need and save the money instead? Time to celebrate. Big or small, those wins matter.
It's like, we can enjoy getting there, not just the end result.
Yeah. It's about seeing that progress is worth celebrating, even the small stuff.
Because those small wins, I feel like they help you keep going.
Totally. It goes back to that idea of feeling in control, like we talked about. Budgeting isn't about, restricting yourself. It's about making your money work for you.
Right, exactly.
It's about deciding how to use your money so you can reach your goals, whatever those are.
I like that. So we basically went from a bunch of info to a clear plan, all thanks to that Three Best Tips article. We talked about the financial snapshot, fixed versus variable costs, and even how to set those SMART goals.
And we found some cool stuff along the way, like that study about how writing down goals makes a difference.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it's amazing how powerful that can be.
It really is. I guess a lot of it comes down to, like, your mindset and how you approach it.
It totally does. It's been
Mhm.
great exploring these ideas with you.
Yeah, definitely.
As you're, going through all this,
Yeah.
what really stands out to you? What's one thing you'll try today to start taking control of your finances?
Those are great questions to think about. Until next time, happy budgeting.